Alright guys, my name is Eli Sieversma, and I'm super excited to be here talking to you guys tonight. Tonight's topic is on witnessing love, and I'm not going to stand up here and tell you that I love my friends and my family and what that means, okay? I'm going to stand up here and tell you that show you how to love for each other and to show our love for Jesus Christ. So most of you who know me know that I'm in high school, currently a sophomore, soon to be a junior. In high school, I've met people from all different types of backgrounds, got to hang out with people on the opposite side of the spectrum from me. And that was true with Jesus. Jesus discipled people who weren't of his race, who weren't of his gender, and who weren't even of his religion. But that never even stopped Jesus from going and loving them and discipling them. And that's really what this term witness means. I mean, when people say, go and be a witness, go and live life with someone. Go tell your story, even if it means that the person you're living life with isn't a believer. Now, to be a witness of love, that's just to show someone that you love them. I mean, there's no better way to be a witness of love to someone than someone who follows Jesus Christ. Because being a follower of Jesus Christ means that we're constantly striving to be like him. We show love to our friends and people who even aren't our friends. You can do that by opening a door for someone when you go into a store, or if you send an appreciation text to your best friend. I mean, I have a friend named Miguel, and Miguel and I have been friends for 2 years, all 2 years I've been in high school. And Miguel comes from a very different background than I do. Miguel deals drugs. Miguel has kind of put God aside in his life and also engages in sexual acts. So I could have gone to school in high school and taken a look at Miguel and said, I don't want to hang out with that dude. That dude's crazy. I don't think that's not a good influence on me. It would have been that easy. Could have never said a word to him. Could have been minding his own business in the lunchroom. I would have never found out about him. But I decided to be engaged in his life. I decided to be a friend. And that didn't mean I was going to constantly throw a Bible in his face every day and tell him, you need Jesus. I mean, I lived and currently still live my Christian life with Miguel. Miguel knows what I believe, and he's not going to do anything to change my mind. And that's just how our relationship goes. I have chosen to be a witness of love to Miguel and just a witness. I have told him my story. This is exactly what Jesus calls us to do. Now I'm going to read John 21, verses 14 through 19. But before I do, I'm going to give some background info on it. In this time, Jesus has been appearing to his disciples, and in this specific scripture, he appears to his disciple Peter, who also goes by the name of Simon. And this was after Jesus has been risen from the dead. So here's John 21, 14 through 19. This was now the third time Jesus appeared to his disciples after he was raised from the dead. When they had finished eating, Jesus said to Simon Peter, Simon, son of John, do you love me more than these? Yes, Lord, he said. You know that I love you. Jesus said, feed my lambs. Again, Jesus said, Simon, son of John, do you love me? He answered, yes, Lord, you know that I love you. Jesus said, take care of my sheep. The third time he said to him, Simon, son of John, do you love me? Peter was hurt because Jesus asked him a third time, do you love me? He said, Lord, you know all things. You know that I love you. Jesus said, feed my sheep. Very truly, I tell you, when you were younger, you dressed yourself and went where you wanted. But when you are old, you will stretch out your hands, and someone else will dress you and lead you where you do not want to go. Jesus said this to indicate the kind of death by which Peter would glorify God. And then he said to him, follow me. Now, I love this scripture. It's honestly one of my favorite ones. I love it because it shows Jesus being a witness of love to Peter. Not long before this scripture, Peter denied Jesus 3 times. 3 times. Peter denied the Son of God 3 times. And in this scripture, Jesus asks Peter 3 times. Jesus could have said, okay, Peter, see ya. Peter said he didn't know him 3 times. If I was Jesus, I would have said, goodbye. But Jesus comes back to Peter and asks him 3 times if Peter loves him. Jesus never gave up on Peter, even though Peter turned his back on Jesus. The verse really hits me when it gets to verse 19, when it says, Jesus says this to indicate the kind of death by which Peter would glorify God. Then he said to him, follow me. Kind of death by which Peter would glorify God. Now, what kind of death is Jesus talking about here? This is the death to yourself, to die to yourself. Now, some of you are probably sitting here thinking, I'm alive, what does it mean to die to myself? And that's a good question. Really, to die to yourself is to put everything that you want, everything that you feel behind you. Do everything for the glory of God's kingdom. A big part of dying to yourself is putting behind you all the social standards. Whether that's you want to cheat on a math test, you want to deal drugs, you want to go have sex. Everything behind you, and go do everything for the sake of God's kingdom. Then Jesus proceeds to say, follow me. Jesus asks us to drop everything. He asks us to do the opposite of cool. Don't go make fun of that kid. Instead, go sit with that kid at lunch and have a conversation with him and be a witness to him. When I was in middle school, I guess I would say I was one of the cooler kids. I played basketball, football, and I ran track. I was a middle school jock. But I look back and I think, wow, I was super cocky and I wasn't even that good. And I look back and I just say, oh my gosh, Eli, what? Now in middle school, I was still kind of seeing where I wanted to fit in, and I really found that place was sports for me. I had really good friends that were guys, and some of them were a good influence on me, but most of them weren't. We were middle school boys on a basketball team who thought we were going to end up playing in the NBA someday, and we were all Kobe Bryant, even though all of us averaged 2 points a game. But in middle school, I would say I didn't have a well-established faith, but everyone in my school, most of my friends knew that I was a Christian by the shirts I wore, by the cross I had around my neck. But since I made the excuse of, oh, I don't have a well-established faith, I didn't care what anybody thought of me. My actions, I didn't care. So this led to everyone on the basketball team, including me, making fun of kids who didn't make the team, kids who just weren't as good as us, and sometimes kids who were just plain old weird. Now, I did not look at those kids like children of God. I didn't treat them like my brothers and sisters through Christ. And it took me all the way until the summer between middle school and high school to realize that what I had done to those poor kids was wrong. And even though I was in middle school and didn't have a well-established faith, everyone knew that I was a Christian. I was not treating those other kids children of God. I was not a witness to them. I was not a witness of love, and I was just not a plain old witness to them. Guys, I'm here to tell you tonight that there is no greater witness of love than someone who follows Jesus, because they truly show the love that Jesus had for us. Go tell your story. Show love, and most importantly, be a witness. Will you bow your heads with me? Dear Lord, I thank you for this day, that we're able to come together. I pray over this offering that we're about to have, that it impacts the world. I pray that you taught some people something tonight, that they can go out and be a witness to others. Amen.